Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is Wednesday, April 22nd, more than halfway through the week, and just going to do a quick recap, see what's been going on during the week and what we can look forward to the last couple of days of this week. Well into earnings season, and you can see here today we actually had a pretty good day. Some of the reporting stocks came out, good numbers, although it doesn't take in sort of the latest events that have happened with the virus, of course, but Netflix put up some really good numbers, but then struggled today, just primarily because those good numbers that they put up probably are not repeatable. And if anything, as we get past this virus thing and people start going outside more, maybe the subscription numbers are going to maybe drop down again. But you can see here we had a nice day on the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P. Still pretty bearish in terms of the number of stocks below their 200-day moving average and 50. So you can see here we're pretty much in a bear market still. And even though we did have the advanced declines and the new highs here today, we're pretty good. Let's just take a look quickly actually at the groups here and just see what was good, what wasn't. And you can see here the basic materials technology was there, the performers today, but healthcare overall has been good. Again, these three basic materials technology for the week, and technology lagging on the month, but it took a big hit earlier in the month. So, but the basic materials and healthcare still looking pretty good here. Healthcare, LABU, LABU. Talk about that in a while. Here's the transports. And, despite being up today, the transports were actually down. So that's not necessarily a good sign. You can see here we're down on volume too. We're right back at the 20 moving average. Looks like we're holding, just barely holding support, maybe even broke down a little below it here, which does not necessarily bode well for the overall market. Again, we're kind of just chopping along here with the treasuries. The Dow came up again on, see, 2 bad days in the up day. Not much volume today, even though we were up. And as I said, it looks like we're kind of maybe going to be stuck in this trading range here. You've got 24,000 on the 24,300 on the upside and maybe 23,000 on the downside. So we may actually just chop along here for a while until we get a break from this trading range, but it'll be something to watch for when we do get that break. Kind of see here the momentum's gone out of this after this nice bounce, and yeah, so we're leveling off. Skip over the weeklies. And again, same thing with the IWM, the small caps. Bit of an indecision candle again, much lower volume. You can see that there. RSI stuck in the middle. Slowly moving, losing a little bit of momentum here on any kind of direction. So again, we may be sort of stuck in a trading range until we break out of that. The Qs of course had the best move, and that's where things are right now. Again, big up day today, well off the high of the day. Volume again really light today, pretty much tail of the tape. Light volume on all of these. And then the SPY, again, looks like we're kind of losing momentum. You can see here MACD is just slowly rolling over. We're right into 50. So again, we may be, like the comments can be the same for all these indices. We may just be stuck in a trading range. So it'll be interesting just to watch these levels. So, 2700 to 2900 on the SPY. And then you can see the moving averages are kind of converging here. So we may start just, narrowing into a pendant here, and we'll just see which way it'll break. Again, we've got this big battle between the Fed and the buy anything Fed and support everything, and the economic reality of where we are right now with the globe being pretty shut down. So things look like they're going to start to come online a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. Dollar, a little bit of strength today, nothing to write home about. Volume was light. VIX again, we may be just stuck in a range here, and ultimately we may continue to break down if we just consolidate sideways. And this moving average here could be the next stop, somewhere. Well, it could be here, 30, sort of 33-ish. And let's see what we've got on watch here. BA, kind of keeping an eye on this one. Again, it looks like it's sort of getting into a range here. If it does lose this 134 level, 130, see what that is, 133, we may end up heading back down to 120 here on Boeing. It's had some good news. Sounds like their production's coming back online. Again, volume really light today. But 133 is kind of a level to look at. If it if it closes below that, we may be heading lower. Baidu again, just sort of stuck in a range here. Gold was my play from Monday afternoon into the close. Mentioned that it was looking like it was going to be a good long trade, and had a really nice day today. Nice gap up. And really nice movement pretty much all day. Let's take a look at it on the 5-minute here. Kind of see here, gapped up, did a little bit of a jig for first hour, and then we had a nice trend up all the way, closed near the high of the day, kept some, still had some, and just going to hang on to that because, I do think gold is probably going to go higher. This is the miners GDX. One way to play it, you could play GLD, just gold shares. Let's get back to, there's the GLD. You can see here we're heading back. It looks like we're heading back up to the high here. And then we'll see if we can break out. Let's just see, I'm just kind of curious on a monthly where we've got here for highs way back in 2012. Trend is definitely higher. You see we're getting a little bit overbought on the monthly. MACD heading up, stochastics putting in a bit of a double top here. So again, it still looks pretty strong. We may continue higher here, so just liking that one. Liking gold. It's all the money printing going on. That's where people are going to gold because everybody's just printing money like it's going out of style, and that's just a figuratively speaking, of course, because they don't actually sit there printing money, but that's basically they're just putting money into the system by buying all this securities. KWeb and a gap up today. I've got another rant about China, but I won't go into that. I really do think after this is all said and done, there's going to be a real shift in dealings with China and other countries, not just the U.S. And every country is probably going to have a different view of how they want to deal and work with China going forward. I'll get into that. And mRNA, we had a bit of an inside day today there. Had a beautiful run up. I don't know, there's no trade there. MU had a pretty decent day, went out near the high, rejected the 20 moving average here. One of the many stocks trading below their 20 moving average, volume again light. Square, again, we just maybe just seem to be stuck in a range here. Just looking for a pattern, don't really see anything. So again, just maybe kind of stuck here in a range. TNA does look like it's forming a pendant here. You can see that on the chart. Let's do a quick annotate here, just illustrate that. A little bit of a pendant here. Might even be able to draw it from there. So yeah, I'd be watching for this to make a break one way or another. And we'll see if it can break out of this one of these trend lines here. Pendants are a good way to gauge, or at least a good pattern, but you've got to wait for the pattern to complete and to show you which direction the stock is going to want to break. So TNA, obviously a way to play the small caps. So be watch for a break out of this one of the pendants, this pendant here, and it just again it'll just have to watch to see which way it's going to go. Probably could go up. My bias might be for the upside because they have lagged in this whole comeback, and they were lagging the market before, so there may be a rotation into the small caps. But again, we don't make any suppositions or guesses. We wait for the pattern to play itself out here. The oil just looks really ugly, just really ugly. And this was another one I had. I've had this for a while. It popped up nicely. I'm out of it now because it got up to up into this area here where I thought there would be some resistance, and that was in my portfolio for a little while. So pretty happy about that trade. And that's about it right now. So again, we're kind of chopping right now, so I'm having trouble finding anything that's going to be trending, but I'll be keeping an eye out, and we'll let you know if anything pops up on the screen. So earnings tomorrow. Let's take a look at what we got coming up. Thursday morning, we have Intel, we've got Baidu, and or that's after the close, and before we've got Domino's Pizza. I'm guessing this number will be great. I'm guessing people are ordering pizza like crazy, but I haven't got any position in that. Hershey, don't know about the chocolate sales. I'm eating my share here. And yeah, so that's it for Thursday. And Friday is usually a pretty light day for the for earnings. Usually companies don't report on Fridays, and if they do, it's usually before the market opens. So we got Verizon, American Express, Freeport, McMoran, and yeah, so here's my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, if you haven't checked it out, and it's there. And yeah, I hope everyone's had a good day today. We had a really good session for our members in the trading room this evening on strategies and psychologies of trading. It was really excellent presentation by Dr. Reed, and we'll be having more coming up. I'm sure we'd like to bring guest speakers in. So that's it, everybody. If you're going to join us in the morning, we're on starting around 8:30 Eastern Time, doing the pre-market show live on YouTube as well. If you're going to join us, and then we'll be getting into the trading day when the market opens. So